Shalom, shalom. First, I want to start off by saying, Call halal, la Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and who have taught his knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers, doing the work week in, week out, pushing the words of truth. Excuse me. Shalom to the few Akwap that believe as well. This is the news clip from CGTN, and these are survivors of the Afghanistan war. You know, the Afghani people, and I watched it, from my live news feed, and it was pretty sad because these people, their whole lives been altered because of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and this is exactly what he does. He goes around the earth and he destroys everything, man. Everything is in a state of ruins because of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, begin with their elites, the central banking families on down. So, as a result, when he shows up in someone's land, this is the aftermath, okay?
Say the U.S. bombing of their village was done under pretext that Taliban had members living there. No one knows if any Taliban members were killed in that attack, but villagers lost their loved ones. 35-year-old Asdin Muhammad lost all of his family members in that attack, except for his younger sister, who was later taken away by German doctors for treatment and never came back.
بس لاس نفر از ما خپل شپږ مې خوندې وې درې مې دوه مې ورونه وه یو مې پلار و یو مې مور وه دا شهیدان شول دا اکا د مصعب نیکه دوه مې.
As you can see, Esau have murdered this man's family, and there's a price to pay for that, There's a price to pay for everything you've done, Esau. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. In verse 3, it says, Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So, when you look at what is perdition, perdition simply means destruction or ruin. Let's pull up real quick. This is the Merriam-Webster. It says perdition, eternal damnation. It says utter destruction, loss. And as you can see from that video, the Afghani people have experienced ruin, loss, or their community being destroyed. Now, matter of fact, let's stay right there. I want to go to the different translation. All right, let's go to the NLT. And this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3 on the NLT. It says, Don't be fooled by what they say, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against the Most High, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the one who brings destruction. All right? Who's the man that brings destruction? The so-called white man, as he called himself, white, Caucasian, European, all right, the so-called Jews. Hey, these are the people that bring destruction to people. All right, these are the people that ruin people, whole villages, all right, countries, all right, destabilizing governments all across the planet. Even this guy, he came on the news, right? This George Soros guy. He's a 1948er, man. He goes around the earth himself, and he destabilizes governments, sway elections, or interfere with elections, I should say. And it causes the people of that land to be destroyed. All right. It says, Verse 4, he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call the Most High and every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of the Most High, claiming that he himself is a God. So this is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Let's jump down to verse 8. It says, then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. Which that's what we're waiting on. All right. We're waiting on that because we know that our Lord Yahushua is returning. And he's going to put down Esau. So let's go from there. I'm going to go to the book of Micah. This is the book of Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that's the reason why Esau, even the so-called white man, does what he do. Because he's in that power seat, which the Most High put you in that power seat, Esau. All right? And you've been using that power seat to do nothing but wickedness because you are the wicked seed. All right, the wicked race of people. All right, beginning with your central banking families on down. All right, you are the wicked nation. All right, the wicked root that's described as Esau, Edom in the Bible. All right. Even going back to the serpent, which was the man, you were that serpent, Esau. You were Cain, and you came back as Esau. Still doing what? Wickedness. All right, still deceiving. And people are tired of you, man. People are tired of you. It says, verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. All right. And that's what you do. You covet fields, man. For what? Resources. There's no war fought over terrorism. Because if there was so, America would have been taken down a long time ago. Who've committed more acts of terror than the United States of America? All right. And there's plenty of history. All right. With the children of Israel alone, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. On up until this very day. All the acts of terror against us. And then you have all kind of acts of terror against the other nations. As shown in this video. All right. Now let's go. I want to go to the NLT again. It says the NLT version, right? New Living Translation. It says Micah 2:1. What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking upon evil plans. Man, that's the so-called white man to a T. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he do. All right. He only think of doing evil things. All right. Everything he does is set to cause some evil to happen to a person or people. Okay. Excuse me. Bear me 1 second. All right, again, Shalaki. I had to wipe my nose. But again, you know, who makes these evil plans? Esau, even the so-called white man. It says, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out. Because, hey, that's so true. Because you know this, and you know this. Whenever the so-called U.S. carry out a strike on a nation, they wake up at the rise of dawn, right? And they have these strikes. Now it's usually when you people that dwell over here in so-called America, all right, usually in bed when these things take place. You notice it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, over here, but it was daytime over there. And then you would hear about it usually when you wake up and turn on the news. All right, and this whole false mainstream news media, which has a false narrative. All right, when they carry out these acts of horror and acts of terror. All right, verse 2, it says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want some, hey, hey, look at all the things that Afghanistan, all right, as far as resources, look at what they have. All right, notably the poppy fields. All right, they had zero production of poppy production. Fast forward today, they produce about 90 to 95% of the world's poppy production. All right, that is a fact. It says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. When you cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance. They even do that over here. They done that to us. They done it to Gad. They've done that to Issachar. All the northern tribes over here. The so-called Puerto Ricans, which are Ephraim. Puerto Rico means Puerto riches, but are the so-called Puerto Rican people rich? Absolutely not. But the people who conquered the so-called Puerto Ricans, the Tainos, they're the ones rich. They're the Edomites, the so-called white people. Come on. And they know it, man. They know it. That's why you're known as the spoiler. All right. Let's go. Boy, Esau, man, you was a straight up double, man. This is Isaiah 21:2. A grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously, and the spoiler spoileth. Yeah, who's the spoiler? Let's look that up on the dictionary. Who's a spoiler? Clearly, is Esau. But let's get the definition on spoiler. It says spoiler. One that spoils. One, such as a political candidate, having little or no chance of winning, but capable of depriving a rival of success. It says, that's going off a little bit. Let's go to the etymology dictionary. The first one was a good one though. One who spoils. That's clearly excuse me. That's clearly right on point. Here, this is more accurate. One who robs or plunders. Well, hey, doesn't the scripture say that about America? Hold on, let's get that. What's that, Nahum? Let's go to the book of Nahum. Nahum 3. Nahum 3:1, it says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. Is that not so-called America, which is Babylon the Great? This place is full of lies and robbery. It robbed all the tribes of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. All right. It robbed us of everything. All right. And then the lies that they've told since coming into power have been ridiculous, even claiming themselves to be the chosen people of the Lord. All right. Claiming they're a people of good when their actions show otherwise. Everything they doing is nothing but evil and wickedness, man. All right. And you see it day in and day out. All right, day in and day out, you see Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, the so-called white man, just causing the loss of life. All right, and that's what he does. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah 13 and verse 23. It says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil." And you Edomites are accustomed to doing evil, man. All right, excuse me. You Edomites are accustomed to doing evil, man. Your whole history is evil and wickedness, man. Excuse me. The whole reason why Jake, all right, Southern Kingdom of Jake, pushed your ass up in the mountains, man, in the Caucasus Mountains, because you're so evil and wicked, man. It tells you that in the book of the First Maccabees. Let's go to the regular KJV app real quick. This is First Maccabees. First Maccabees chapter 1, and this is during the time when you were calling yourself Greeks. All right. First Maccabees, I'm about to say Fergus. Slakia. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 7, it says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth." You know why? Because the wicked, all right, was put into power. And if you're the wicked, what's going to be the outcome? Wickedness. And that's what's going on with the earth today. The earth has so much wickedness in it. That's why the Lord, Yahweh Shai, all right, is going to come back and cleanse it, all right, of this wickedness that's been spread throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, it's now written in right here in 2nd Ezra 15. And let's go. Let's get that. 2nd Ezra 15, starting at verse 5, it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." So, what's polluted the earth? Wickedness. You know why? Because the wicked is ruling. All right, the wicked is ruling. Proverbs 29 and 2. "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." You know why? Because when we're in authority, and we're the righteous, by the way. Why we're the righteous? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua made us the righteous. All right, the sons of Jacob, the sons of Israel, we're the righteous, which are the so-called Negroes, Latino, Native American people, starting with the elect. All right, we're the righteous. All right, it says, "But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Yeah, because when we're in power, the people going to have it way better than when you were in power, Esau. They ain't got to worry about fear of the spoiler. Spoiling their goods just for no reason. Spoiling their homes. Spoiling their governments. Or leaders just for no reason. It's going to be, excuse me, righteousness is going to flourish throughout this earth. But right now, you're bearing rule, and so you're spreading your wickedness, and that's why the people are in mourning. All right, that's the whole reason people are mourning, because you're spreading your wickedness and you're oppressing the people. All right, wrongfully so. That's why it says in the book of Isaiah 14, "He who smote the people with a continual stroke." Let's go to that. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, man, my nose. Shalaki. I got allergies real bad, so I wake up, sinuses be draining and everything. So Shalakia for the delay. Isaiah 14. And we'll start at verse 4. Come on. Start at verse 4. And it reads, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, which is Esau, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Like right when you seen the pull out of Afghanistan, what was Esau trying to do? All right, he was trying to cease from spoiling, because why? The whole world realized that they were in Afghanistan for no reason to begin with. All right. They were just there, just stealing, robbing the Afghani people. All right. They didn't catch anybody who they claimed to be these so-called terrorist leaders. Because if they wanted to look for them, they would have been all in Saudi Arabia, because they was the ones that was behind it. People of Saudi Arabia, as far as the people they claimed that were carrying out these so-called terrorist attacks, all right, on America. They were people of Saudi Arabia. So why not invade Saudi Arabia? It says, verse 5, Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He will smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it. That's Esau, Edom, man. All right. You're the one that smote the people. All right. And you do it out of wrath, out of anger, because why? You're the wicked, man. Your job is to, as far as your role in the Most High's movie, is to play your role as being the wicked, and you've done a great job of that. All right, you've done a great job of that, Esau. That's why when you're trying to cease the spoil, we're not fooled by that. That's going to always show that you're a spoiler. That's why you carrying out new strikes over in different lands. All right, excuse me. You're threatening more governments, more leaders of the people in different lands with military strikes. Right now, you're flying over into the Persians' airspace. Those Israelis, all right? Because you know why? You're planning on carrying out another airstrike. All right? But the point is you're that great spoiler, and you're going to be taken out of the way when Yahweh shall return. Isaiah 33:1, it says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled. Yeah, Esau the one that spoiled us. He ain't been spoiled yet. That's why I said in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, that the Lord is going to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. All right? It says, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. All right, so that's what's going to happen. Right now, you're trying to cease to spoil, but hey, you're still going to be spoiled. All right? We still know that you're a treacherous man. All right? Just like it says in, what's that, Ecclesiastes 12. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12. About the 12th verse. Actually, let's start at 10. Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So does iron rust? Yeah, of course it rusts. All right. It go back to its elements. All right, to the basic elements that it was formed from. So Esau, Edom, which is the enemy of all things, all right, his wickedness is going to show. All right, period. Excuse me. Because that's his makeup. All right. His whole makeup, his whole existence have been to do what? Play his role as being the wicked again. So this is verse 11. It says, though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Because why? The whole pulling out of Afghanistan, that didn't stop you from committing wickedness in the earth. You just pulled out. You got what you wanted as far as the resources. You set up a military post for a couple of decades, just about, and you drain them of his resources, and then you got the hell up out of there. Now look at the Afghani people in a state of rebuilding, you know, and they don't have really much to rebuild with it all. Okay, that's why the scripture says this. Let's go to Obadiah. This is the book of Obadiah. Starting at verse 1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And every time someone see you, Esau, they know what to expect. That's why they despise you so much. Another word for despise is hate. All right, the dark nations hate you, Esau, because you're doing what to them? Spoiling them, destroying them, destabilizing their people and their government. That's why people don't want you to come into their lands. Especially you Edomites over here in so-called America, because they know what time it is when you arrive. All right? The reason why they didn't want this chick, Nancy Pelosi, she was trying to make a trip to Taiwan, and the Taiwan people was like, "No, we don't need you over here," because they know what's coming. All right, they know what's coming when Esau or the elites of Esau, lower level minions come. They're getting ready to carry out some evil, wicked plan that they've devised. You see, because this is what the Edomite people, all right, the house of Esau, this is what they're about. Like I read in Micah 2. As a matter of fact, when you go to Proverbs, let's go to Proverbs real quick. Was it Proverbs 4? Proverbs 4 and 14, it says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. This is the path of the wicked, which are evil men that are in the power seat in this world. Because the Most High put you there. Again, Romans the 13th chapter say the powers that be are ordained of the Most High. The Most High put you there. Daniel 4 and 17, the Most High ruled in the kingdom of men. Psalm 75, it said the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set up another. So who set you up in power? You saw the Most High. He set you up in power for a reason, so that you can be revealed as that man of sin, the son of perdition, the son of destruction, the son of ruining people, the son of spoiling people, spoiling nations. All right, on nation, man. That's your whole history, man. And so we're just waiting patiently, man. I mean, even the earth itself is being destroyed by you because you're in the power seat. This is Revelation 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. And here's the key point. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Which are who? The Edomites. From the 1948ers on down. Which are the central banking families, are the so-called Jews. You're the ones that's doing this. You're the ones that's carrying out all these evil and wicked acts throughout the earth, man. And you're going to be destroyed. Thus saith the God of the Bible. All right? So, with that, I'm going to close. I'm going to say, Lord willing, this video has been edifying to those of you that have tuned in and listened. And to the next video, I want to say Shalom and the Bob Abad. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Bakaya. Shalom.